First reading. A reading from the book of Numbers, chapter 12, verses 1 to 13. Miriam and Aaron too criticized Moses over the Cushite woman he had married. He had indeed married a Cushite woman. They said, is Moses the only one through whom Yahweh has spoken? Has he not spoken through us too? Yahweh, hear this. Now Moses was extremely humble, the humblest man on earth. Suddenly Yahweh said to Moses, Aaron and Miriam, come out all three of you to the tent of meeting. They went all three of them, and Yahweh descended in a pillar of cloud and stood at the entrance of the tent. He called Aaron and Miriam, and they both came forward. Yahweh said, listen to my words. If there is a prophet among you, I reveal myself to him in a vision. I speak to him in a dream. Not so with my servant Moses. To him, my whole household is entrusted. To him I speak face to face, plainly and not in riddles, and he sees Yahweh's form. How then could you dare to criticize my servant Moses? Yahweh's anger was aroused by them. He went away, and as soon as the cloud left the tent, there was Miriam covered with a virulent skin disease, white as snow. Aaron turned to look at her and saw that she had contracted a virulent skin disease. Aaron said to Moses, O my Lord, please do not punish us for the sin we have been foolish enough to commit. Do not let her be like some monster with its flesh, half eaten away when it leaves its mother's womb. Moses pleaded with Yahweh, O God. He said, I beg you, please heal her. This is the word of Lord. Thanks be to God. A reading from the Gospel according to Matthew, chapter 14, verses 22 to 36. And at once he made the disciples get into the boat and go on ahead to the other side while he sent the crowds away. After sending the crowds away, he went up into the hills by himself to pray. When evening came, he was there alone, while the boat, by now some furlongs from land, was hard pressed by rough waves, for there was a head wind. In the fourth watch of the night, he came towards them, walking on the sea. And when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were terrified. It is a ghost, they said, and cried out in fear. But at once Jesus called out to them, saying, courage, it's me. Don't be afraid. It was Peter who answered, Lord, he said, if it is you, tell me to come to you across the water. Jesus said, come. The Peter got out of the boat and started walking towards Jesus across the water. But then, noticing the wind, he took fright and began to sink. Lord, he cried, save me. Jesus put out his hand at once and held him. You have so little faith, he said. Why did you doubt? And as they got into the boat, the wind dropped. The men in the boat bowed down before him and said, truly, you are the Son of God. Having made the crossing, they came to land at Gennesaret. When the local people recognized him, they spread the news through the whole neighborhood and took all that were sick to him, begging him just to let them touch the fringe of his cloak, and all those who touched it were saved.